in the deepest recesses of consciousness itself. The woman's face showed sadness, but held a look of acceptance as she took in the child's words. You promised your mother that she could. You close the bedroom door quietly behind you as This is a picture of your family. Your grandfather stands in the middle, his graying hair not giving away his age. Next to him, a young couple stands holding a young child. For some unknown reason, you suddenly feel creepy. A heavy sound rings from behind you. An unusual aura of blackness swirls. You watch your parents simply disappear in what was less than smoke and dust. Mother made you promise to not open. You look out the window. The moment you walk into the study, the flow of time around you completely freezes. As you notice something changing in the air, you struggle to stand and lose consciousness. When you regain consciousness, your grandfather is there. You also almost immediately notice a gate that you have never seen in the study before. My grandfather pointed to the stone gate standing in the center of the study. The gate seemed to connect two worlds together. You see the meadow and forest. In your eyes, the gate now turns into a Unfortunately, by the time he is able to even get anywhere near the deeper portions of his memories, the pain becomes too much and he's unable to continue. The problem lies with what comes next. If he doesn't attempt to look through these memories for an extended period of time, then it fades as if he'd not remembered it in the first place. This means that he finds himself at the start of the gate he'd been venturing if he doesn't keep at it. The latter seems far too dangerous, whereas the former will take time to come to a solution, without being able to identify the cause of these symptoms. The best path forward is to attempt sleep-aiding medications to allow the patient the opportunity to break this standstill. You take the medication prescribed by your doctor to act as a stress-reducing agent, which he hopes could be a counter-effect from the effects of sleep traumas and hallucinations. Despite the medication, your restless anticipation of a potential good rest is preventing you from being able to IMMID8 fall asleep. You wake up from a nightmare, forcefully pushing yourself against the back of your bed in a cold sweat. Whatever attacked you left no wounds. As you slowly enter the realm of sleep once again, this time you are uninterrupted by the many nightmares that usually haunt your restless self. There is no written message on the end. Your mind is flooded with fragmented images, like it's all a dream you've yet to awaken from. The very memories that you've been unable to grasp are now themselves reaching out to you. You are unable to fully process it all at once, but it sits there like smoke waiting. You imagine will be a matter of time now before the missing portions fit back together.
Oh right, this was the book that Amy recommended. I haven't finished reading it. I still need to also return this thesis as well to the library afterwards.
Isn't this Alan? As always, you are not popular with animals.
I don't know why all the animals seem so hostile to me.
I don't think they're hostile. They just seem scared.
Forget it. I don't want to get sued by any animal protection organizations.
Look, in the desert, someone is planting seeds.
The surrounding dirt makes the
Didn't. You promised last time that we'd pool our money to buy. I already bought it.
I don't have money.
What?
At most.
This is a $100 baseball bat.
This bat is not worth $100.
You don't.
Either way,
Well, I can take a loss this time.
The blonde man.
I wouldn't. Bring have brought the money if I did.
Many notices are for art. There are many phone numbers. The interstate bridge leads to Arkham. And As soon as you enter the room, you see Carl.
Professor Carl, why are you drinking again?
I don't plan to drink once the day comes to an end.
I don't quite understand what you are getting at, Professor.
Alright, so as an example, a drunkard is one of my personas. You should experience a variety of emotions. It's just good for you to experience.
I already know that.
Do you enjoy it? Or
I hate it. No, specifically. I hate stories. People tell stories, put themselves in a... They use these stories to elaborate their own values that they believe to be correct.
so who are more interested in their worlds?
History is written by the winners. Even so, there's still truth can be interpreted and observed.
No one can return to the past themselves after all. All we have is the interpretation of others.
Professor, I've come to say that I'm leaving for some time.
That's great to hear. Even if you hadn't decided to do so, I'd have done. We've been unable to get any results with form of trance therapy. I've attempted after all.
Yes, I understand, Professor.
I hope that by the time you return, I have a better understanding myself of your condition.
Thank you for everything, Professor.
What lies before you is a desk that carries piles upon piles of notes.
Sir, what is this?
It came in the mail from a previous... He's rather young, but he was complaining that his memory is getting worse rapidly. So I aided him into achieving a trance-like state.
There's something that makes you uncomfortable about this symbol. Sir, this badge seems interesting in some way.
Feel free to...
What lies before you?
Amy, I have to leave school for a while.
Ampere hours. That's
Well, I'll read it as soon as I.
ampere hour.
Ms. Julie is a professor of history.
Hờ, ở nạnh.
Miss Julie,
You young people are all
Julie was not really angry with you.
I finished my homework.
ở nạnh. You
A man was
Eye of Newt and toe of
Recently, the school closed the second floor.
he claimed to have seen a
Hallucination is a phenomenon of.
Yes, great.
You could try to help the police.
You have a good point.
The second floor looks.
As you search the bookshelf, you come across a book. As you search the bookshelf, you
This is a poster of the.
After a fruitless communication, you walk into the pharmacy, where you spot a young doctor sorting through medicines.
You seem healthy enough.
I envy you, young.
The surrounding dirt.
Uncle Dale, sir.
Are you doing
No, books have been going missing from the library, so I want.
He pulled a crowbar from his back.
Thank you.
No need.
You've entered the sewers. You calm yourself. You rummage. The sewer echoes.
Wait, isn't that you, Mr. Stone?
I'm Mr. Stone. My memory of
Mr. Stone.
I have no idea myself. I was in that process.
The principal has asked you. You see a monster run towards the earth inside.
The economy has been pretty.
Ampere hour.
Amy.
That sounds great.
I will.
I envy you. I envy.
You continue. A large wooden bulletin board reading "Welcome."
Something is coming out.
A flock of fat rats appear. There are signs of passage. You continue. You quickly lose track of time before the all-encompassing fog. By the time the light. One pillar.
How are their sight?
You enter the bedroom. While most of what you when you try to you build a simple wood. You see a torn portrait. You fail to notice the pit under. There is a weird. You look closely at this sculpture. Realize. You investigate carefully.
These two.
You sense something. A crystal falls and smashes to pieces with
What? What's this? Why is there a key inside it?
as you step into the past.
Did I really go?
Inside was
The Strange has chosen Anand as its carrier. In a little while it will have been completely assimilated.
Is there really nothing that can be done?
The process of assimilation cannot be reversed. It can only be delayed.
the old man looked down and thought.
I could use the transfer spell to the pool the effects to someone else.
Let me do it. Grace, you haven't been well.
The man went up and hugged the woman.
That man spoke, don't worry about me. You have to take care of our child. He stood up and hugged them.
In the surrounding space,
At least, let Anand forget this painful memory.
your perspective disappeared.
It turns out I caused everything all along. Why did I survive?
With a surge, the impurity of the body gathers before you.
You finally left my... All the disasters are my fault.
You stand before the very thing you've always resisted.
In that crack of history, I saw that my whole life was an alternate reality. There is still hope. Grandfather mentioned that I was the last of hope.
A group of black humans. You open the door to the... You see your grandpa's... He smiles. His body begins to fade to light and you don't even have the time to...
Grandfather.
You open the box. You were about to ask.
Star T.
The stars are shining in her eyes. Time.
The infection with the strange is different from simple physical assimilation. It's like allowing an egg without a shell to maintain its ancestor. The Lord of it. Are you still up? We must go with the What an ironic twist of fate.
Right as the array is about to be activated, the space changes.
There is still a glimmer.
As long as I can pay for it.
A pure silver and white light covered George Howard, its energy sparkling like a multitude of stars.
So this is the history's truth.
Grandpa!
A child pushes open the door to enter.
Then I suppose.
Just as George Howard was preparing for the end.
Do you have a last?
If I may, I would like to see him.
The voice hesitated for a moment.
I can only give you 1 sec.
That's certainly enough.
A Fogamon's consciousness was forced into a deep sleep.
You investigate.
There are glass stops.
The hourglass is broken.
Oh, so you chose to construct a puppet to preserve your power.
Without any thought.
Oh, I'm very disappointed. Now this is a You ridiculous.
Star key. As long as your heart is not broken, every time you
You were defeated by the silver key emitted. A Forgomon was expelled from this. As the avatar of a Forgomon was repelled, the whole space trembled violently in rage, and oppressive sounds rained down from all sides.
A Forgoman cannot go back in time to this 100 years of history, and so they are preparing to return to the start of space-time.
If the ship of Theseus paradox is about whether you're still you after replacing all the materials, now it is about returning all the materials in your body in order to discover your origin. This is the dividing point between existence and non-existence. Black and white are independent of each other, maintaining an absolute balance. You feel a strong will locking you in. Your obsession, unwillingness, and your pain burst out. As you sink, your consciousness becomes They lift you up and make you whole once more.
No.
Do you like the
I like the people of this world.
Do you have any?
I certainly have many. It's not that I want to change the world like some grand fairy tale.
Amy was busy sorting books in the library as usual.
Why am I crying?
Carl did not respond to Julie's complaints, instead saying optimistic. Carl pulled out a bottle of whiskey, took a sip.
Painful things cannot be avoided in life, only endured.
This is the consequence of the past being restored.
Upon hearing the girl's question, the boy carefully began running his fingers over each page of the book once more.
No, I'm confident in my choice. Sothath.
He slowly closed the book, concluding his journey to the beginning, of which an end wouldn't exist. You chose to take your destiny into your own hands and sacrificed your connection to reality in order to empower Tal to awaken as Yoji's Othoth, but also to restore the timeline of the world you once walked upon.
Go and tell Sothath. Sothath, the spreading of the chaotic timeline in that sunless sea has been controlled. What is it really?
It's okay. As long as it doesn't overly consume I can still but to completely erase all anomalies. I'm not capable of that yet.
Is there anything I can help you?
You see Sothoth with some hesitation.
The new space is still very fragile. Star T, I need you to travel to all the abnormal to influence them and then bring that little bit of change that would become the.
I understand.
However, Star T, you need to establish you will obtain the same identity and experience as them, and their suffering and pain will be. My power will protect you from act.
Don't worry, I will go to all these places as soon as I could.
A scene that doesn't fit in with this place appeared on the right side. A huge iron box with a Forgomon occupies this area unceremoniously.
Sothoth, what's wrong with that?
You rarely see Sothoth.
After I really woke up, our Afwagaman never wanted to merge with. After weighing the pros and we have reached and they no longer interfere with space and time.
But isn't that really going to cause more trouble?
As the end of time, Afwagaman is the key to erase. They have seen so much destruction that they have been tainted with a bad character. We were originally one. Because of the difference in our power, our views become different, but they will surely preserve the new world that we have created.
Okay.
You feel a sliver of strength being drained from your body. This sense of familiarity makes you feel as though,
What on earth is this?
as you approach, as you get closer, these are people you have.
How unexpected. I never thought you would be able to activate.
A Forgomon's gaze shifts to Sothoth, who is sitting in front of a desk. Sothoth merely lifts his head slightly, offering a smile, diving back into his sea of books.
What is Hall thinking? Ampere hours. Your foolish expression tells me you don't understand its purpose yet.
I indeed do not understand its purpose. You have released all the imprisoned consciousnesses. Why then is this temporal sense still preserved?
I am under no obligation. You might want, if Paul has. Why would they bother?
Isn't it to deal with you unable to reach a consensus? So Sothoth could only deal with the end of the future by restarting.
Your thought is so naive. Let's put it this way. Paul has the power to they just doesn't approve of this method. Individuals created through duplication only retain all the information of the previous individual. Individuals without continuity, their true selves have already been destroyed. I don't need any damn true self. I just need enough data to help me regain my strength. Since you've activated this part of the temporal sand, I will give.
Afterward,
Paul. Do not bother me.
Art expressing him.
you find a page. Many unknown. Many unknown. Many unknown books. A blue butter to remind you of the.
Watch out for initial changes. Time is chained together. Any small change can cause an irreversible chaos.
What an eyesore. Tall.
This is my precious possession. Don't you think it's beautiful?
It's just a shining dust. What's so precious?
It can make me interact with the world. Each segment of consciousness is created by a unique soul. The stars are of great, and because they have
Stop. Stop it. I'm not interested at all. You should know that the reason why we are separated is that we can't reach an agreement.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was like before we separated. A forewoman.
You won't want to recall. Forget. Anyway, it's good that
Art expressing
No module is selected. As you were reading through the newspaper, you've received an unexpected CO mission. Carter is a well-known jeweler. And through a newspaper, you learn that he is preparing for a remarkable jewelry exhibit. The client is Mr. Carter himself. His wife mysteriously disappeared from their bedroom not long ago. You decide to accept this commission. During the journey, you pass through a picturesque forest. Perhaps there won't be too many surprises in this mission. Well, at least you already. Your car had broken down out of nowhere. So you stopped at a nearby gas station in hopes of repairing it. It was just your luck that you wandered right into a gang's territory and soon found yourself surrounded. Just as you were about to give up on this trip, the door opens and a girl yanks you inside.
The name's Saya. Any particular reason you are heading to Carter's? I'm well aware. His wife went missing after all. I was hired here to investigate the matter. That being said, I'm also a friend of his.
Saya nods. You begin to settle in and focus on a black cat that you've noticed. It seems to have...
Her name is Snow.
You reach out to Snow and petting her soft.
aren't you worried about Carter's home? Are you afraid of danger then? I'm definitely not. How about this? What if I said I were a professional assassin? Would you believe me? I have no reason to believe. All I know is that you are a beautiful girl with a cat.
Upon hearing your words, Saya's invited you to look. You flip open the compartment and a small black chest. Inside you find rows upon rows of bullets and a well-kept.
Really now, that chest is packed. It'll take more than that. How about you try to guess what I assume Carter invited. You are no fun. I'd appreciate if you please don't get in my way. If so.
The sky gradually darkens as at this point the sun is about to set. But you have reached the familiar road near. Saya drifts around the bend skillfully and slams on the gas pedal. She quickly charges ahead toward the Carter's mansion and into the front parking. As you pull in, a woman strolls up to the vehicle. She's dressed in a butler's attire and seems to be about 40 or 50 years old. But in the corner of your eye, you notice Carter sitting within in the study of the mansion.
My lord has been waiting in the study for some time.
You begin to follow behind the butler as she takes you towards the manor. Before you sits a magnificent building, though you remember Carter referring to it as just a quaint country house before. As you take in the Berlin countryside, you walk through the doorway and find yourself in the manor's grand dining room. Outside, you can see a grand.
Ever since a recent incident, the house staff have been.
The butler continues to report on various happenings of the property as you make your way towards the study. Right. What you notice.
My dear friends who have come all this way, before we get to the matter I asked you for, there is.
You hear a mechanism begin to turn inside the table. The top of the table splits up. What really catches your eye?
I've always heard you were more than just a businessman. It seems like you also have quite an interesting.
My skills are not worth brag. I purchased this antique from an auction house.
Carter's words make you stare at. When you focus on the gem, your vision begins to warp into a strange illusion. The gem appears to be practically absorbing the Your eyes begins to tremble. As if countless colors burst from the gem. The light begins to fade.
This gem is called Aladdin. I found this through one of my close contacts, but thought it might interest me. From my studies, this gem is completely unique in its makeup. In terms of why I'm talking,
is assumed there's a reason behind that logic.
Correct. Once this Aladdin arrived at the maze began notice, there have also occasionally both myself and my staff have heard strange. I suspect that being said, even my contact was completely lost as to who else knew of our exchange. While it was less harmful at first, my wife's disappearance became that final.
In that case, why isn't that basically?
Haha. Under this manor lies an underground. What you just saw. Now that you have an understanding of my request.
Just as Carter finishes his sentence.
Apologies, my lord. He did ask that I act as your guide.
The butler leads you away from the study, into the corridors of the mansion. While there are many rooms in Carter's, she also tells you that currently, the mansion has no other rooms currently occupied. As the staff the housekeeper pushes the door open.
This used to be the. It was a great shop. It's a shame to think I didn't know much about.
What have you put in?
A diary fell on. I recognized it. Madam had always. I was confused.
Snow. I'm going to take care of Snow. My bad.
My lord has instructed, so I'll wait here.
The windows. This type of mesh looks as though it's to both prevent break-in. Either Carter's either serious about The moon was blocked by thick clouds. The window in front of you begins to reflect.